Imagine you're steering a 100-ton rig, its tires inches from a cliff's edge. The road's barely wide enough for a pickup, and a storm's rolling in. One mistake and it's all over. So, how do they survive this? This isn't fiction, it's the chaos faced by the unsung heroes of heavy transport. Drivers and engineers pushing the limits of physics, steel, and nerve to deliver the impossible. From hauling wind turbine blades across mountain passes to rescuing trucks trapped in icy ditches, this is where logistics becomes legend. But what happens when the road itself fights back? Today we're diving into the jaw-dropping world of extreme heavy transport. We'll uncover the machines, methods, and mind-bending challenges behind some of the most dangerous moves ever made. If you thought shipping a couch across states was stressful, just wait till you see this. Now picture this: a 2-axle trailer creeping along a 1-lane mountain road. On one side, solid rock. On the other, a 1,000-foot drop. And the road? Slick from a recent rain. To navigate a turn tighter than a New York City parking spot, the driver uses a rear-steered trailer, an engineering marvel that pivots independently to keep the load aligned and balanced. Without it, the trailer could jackknife or tip, taking the whole rig down with it. This is how they survive, but what if the road was never built for loads like this? These turns aren't just physical, they're psychological. Every movement is calculated, every correction could be the difference between disaster and delivery. On stretches like this, even breathing feels risky. And here's the real kicker: many of these roads weren't designed for anything heavier than a sedan. So, when you're hauling a turbine tower the height of a 6-story building, it's not just about horsepower, it's about coordination and calmness under pressure. But even with perfect control, what happens when the weather turns? Now let's talk wind turbines. Those massive blades slicing the sky. Transporting these enormous components isn't just tricky, it's an engineering thriller. A single blade can be 70 meters long and weigh over 20 tons. Now imagine moving that through mountain switchbacks and active storm systems. That's a whole different level of challenge. So, how do you steer something that big on a road that small? The answer lies in adjustable axle steering and dynamic load balancing systems that respond in real time to terrain and weight distribution. Each turn the driver takes is calculated. Their hands are steady, but their mind is doing math, factoring angle, weight, slope, and wind gusts. And what if one gust is just too strong? Sometimes the road disappears. Literally. That's when teams improvise using steel ramps, going off-road, or temporarily rebuilding sections just to keep going. But the real danger is miscommunication. Everyone involved must be in sync. Spotters, drivers, and crane operators. One wrong call, and it's not just the cargo at risk, it's lives. What happens when just one person misses a cue? Enter the crane. In extreme heavy transport, the crane isn't just a tool, it's a lifeline. A game changer when equipment must be repositioned, lifted, or rescued. Picture this: a dam construction site. A loaded concrete mixer needs to be lifted onto a raised platform. No crane? No chance. But with one, the vehicle is lifted with surgical precision, preventing damage and delays. But what if disaster has already struck? Let's say a truck has overturned mid-route. Nearby excavator operators and crane crews work fast, repositioning, stabilizing, correcting, all under pressure with the clock ticking. These operations aren't just about placing objects, they're about pulling loads out of disasters. And while automation is coming for now, it's all about skilled hands and split-second decisions. What happens when even cranes can't help? That's where hydraulic modular trailers step in. Heavy transport's heavyweights. These beasts are made to move loads that would crush standard vehicles. Take Germany's Transformer Convoy, 24 axles working in perfect harmony to carry over 500 tons. One axle out of sync, and you're looking at millions in damage. But what if the path can't support the load? These trailers are technical masterpieces, equipped with advanced suspension and pivot rings that adapt to terrain, turn angles, and weight shifts down to the millimeter. And they don't always follow main roads. Sometimes they're forced to go through cities, across old bridges, or even float across rivers. And just when you think it couldn't get worse, imagine a ferry packed with trucks, every pound accounted for. Then a driver forgets the parking brake. One truck rolls, the load shifts, The ferry's blocked, the mission halts, and once these convoys enter urban zones, a new set of problems appears. Tight intersections, low wires, tight turns. But with adjustable fifth wheels and rear-steered trailers, the impossible becomes routine. But what happens when you need to transport a ship? On another ship? That's exactly what the SS Badger does. It carries entire rigs weighing hundreds of thousands of pounds. Watching one of these giants board the ferry and then squeeze through tight port lanes is like watching a needle thread itself. Slow, surreal, and tense. Not every job is about distance. Some are about specialization. Machines like the Tesmec 1475 are built for one purpose: trenching solid stone while laying down infrastructure. Or the LKT-81, a mountain-hardened timber hauler with a built-in winch that helps it scale muddy inclines and pull felled trees down slopes without tipping. And then there's the Ford County 754, part digger, part beast. It plows through terrain most machines wouldn't touch. But one miscalculation, and it's stuck, buried, or worse. Still, raw strength is just one part of the puzzle. The planning behind these missions is a full-blown science. Every detail matters, from weather windows to bridge stress tests, local permits to emergency contingencies. Behind every mile is a stack of logistics documents thicker than the rig is long. Take the case of moving an offshore oil platform base from Norway to the coast of Nigeria. That's 5,000 miles of open water, involving multiple tugboats, fuel calculations, maritime traffic coordination, and timed port entries down to the hour. A single delay can cost hundreds of thousands. And what about terrain that changes as you go? In northern India, convoys transporting hydro equipment sometimes face landslides mid-route. Crews carry emergency supplies, steel mesh for rapid road repair, and coordinate with weather satellites just to keep moving. Or consider Alaska's Dalton Highway, where transport teams hauling oil infrastructure face -40-degree conditions, black ice, and the constant threat of avalanches. Equipment must be preheated. Crews travel in packs, and sometimes tires are chained mid-drive to adapt to snowdrifts forming in real time. Another fascinating case is in Australia, where massive mining equipment is moved hundreds of kilometers through the outback. Convoys stretch over 1,000 feet and require pilot vehicles, support teams, and wildlife coordinators. Kangaroo crossings and road trains aren't just obstacles, they're constant considerations. Each leg of the journey is timed around weather forecasts, rest cycles, and even the migration patterns of local animals. Then there's the inland waterway challenge. In the Netherlands, entire structures are floated through canals using customized barges and bridge lifting schedules that involve real-time coordination between municipal governments and transport engineers. These operations aren't just complex, they're choreographed. Let's zoom out. Picture Brazil's Belo Monte hydroelectric project. A 316-ton rotor had to be moved across jungle, mountains, and rivers over the course of 90 days. It was a test of logistics, endurance, and machine durability. These moves take months of planning, special permits, and cross-border coordination. But when they succeed, they're a testament to global teamwork. Or look at Kubler-Spedition's 528-ton transformer convoy in Europe. It crossed countries, dodging infrastructure limits and threading through tight terrain, all while keeping the cargo perfectly balanced. Would you trust AI to pull this off? That's the future we're heading toward. AI-assisted heavy transport. Machines that can detect problems before they happen. Rigs that shift weight automatically to compensate for terrain. Routes that are calculated by smart systems in real time. Imagine remote-controlled winches, predictive diagnostics, and fully automated steering. Add to that sustainability, hybrid engines, emissions-cutting tech, and we're entering a new age of heavy transport. Still, would you trust a machine with your life inches from a cliff? Before we wrap up, consider this. Every successful mission in the world of extreme heavy transport is the result of countless moving parts. Behind every slow-rolling convoy is a team that has spent weeks, sometimes months, preparing for every inch of that route. It's not just about getting from point A to point B, it's about doing it without a single misstep. These crews run full-scale simulations. They memorize terrain maps, rehearse responses to brake failures, hydraulic leaks, steering glitches, every worst-case scenario you can imagine. They're not just trained to drive, they're trained to react under extreme pressure, to stay calm when a 20-ton blade starts swaying, or when visibility drops to nothing in a snowstorm. In this world, second chances are rare. You either get it right the first time, or you don't get to try again. So next time you're stuck behind a line of oversized trucks, inching forward like metal elephants across the landscape, resist the urge to honk or complain. What you're watching isn't just a delay. It's a live-action display of discipline, teamwork, and human ingenuity. These are the unsung missions that keep infrastructure running, industries supplied, and impossible engineering feats realized. If you found yourself gripping your seat through this journey into the high-stakes world of heavy transport, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment. Let us know if you would ride shotgun on one of these missions. Stick around. The next story might just be even heavier.